The economic showdown between the U.S. and China causing stocks to slide again. The tech-heavy NASDAQ down more than 3% Wednesday, triggering a warning about tariffs from the Federal Reserve about their impact on the economy.
Tariffs are highly likely to generate at least a temporary rise in inflation.
Already, e-commerce giants Shein and Temu are planning to raise prices on items coming from China. It's put cities like Yiwu on the front line of President Trump's trade war.
Thousands of colors.
1,000 colors.
Yeah.
Nicole Zhang and her husband make hair accessories for major brands that are machine cut and hand finished.
6 million.
Yeah, pieces. Yeah.
And how many of those are going to the U.S.?
I think around 60 to 70%.
60 to 70%?
Yeah, to USA.
But with tariffs soaring, U.S. clients like Target halted orders.
They want to see what will happen in the future.
So Target put a hold on 2 shipping containers full of your products.
Yeah.
The impact of tariffs in full view here, inside the world's largest wholesale market, where the Chinese goods Americans rely on go for miles. But the dozen vendors we spoke to here, selling everything from socks to keychains to Christmas decor, told us any business they still had with the U.S. is either down or gone. 0 orders now for her press-on nails, she says, because the tax is too high. Some U.S. clients are still buying. Vicky and Vivian Ng are sisters from Chicago who sell hair clips to retailers mostly in the Midwest and Florida.
They're just like us, like they can't have an empty store, right? Or they can't not bring any new product in.
They're hoping the trade spat will blow over before they need to raise prices.
We just want to make stuff that other people, like other women and girls like.
Small pleasures.
Yeah, it's the small things.
Chinese manufacturers say they're making more for other markets and wondering where Americans will get their stuff.
Factories here are still producing for China and other markets. This company does a lot of business with the Middle East and Europe. Several countries are negotiating with the Trump administration to reduce tariffs. China is not one of them. So when these beauties head your way to the U.S., they're going to cost you more. Savannah?
All right, Janice, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Great Millstone, Virginia. As always, to give latest news, article lessons to the Spirit and Power Yabashim Yahushai. But as always, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodesh. I want to say double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who will teach us the truth. And of course, I want to say peace and blessings and salutation to Yaakam out there pushing his truth throughout the 4 corners of the earth, sincerely to the best of ability, scatter the 4 corners of the earth. With them, I say shalom. As you just seen through the video, man, about how Temu and Shein will raise their prices from U.S. customers due to Trump's tariffs. So, you know, they say they plan to raise prices for the U.S. consumers starting next week. A ripple effect from the President's Donald Trump attempts to correct the trade imbalance between the two worlds' economics by posing a sky-high tariff on goods shipped from China. Temu, which is owned by Chinese commerce company, and Shein, I didn't even know about Shein, that's crazy, which is now based in Singapore, said in separate but not identical notices that their operating expenses have gone up due to recent changes in the global trade rules and tariffs. Both companies said they would be making price adjustments according to April 25th through either provide details about the size of the increase. It was a unclear why. 2 rivals posted astronomical, almost identical statements on the shipping rates. That's right, man. You know, like I said, time is changing, man, where everything shall increase, man. You know, the goods and all the products that was so cheap, you know what I'm saying? It's time to raise up, man. You know, as a matter of fact, this last week, you know what I'm saying, Nintendo, you know what I'm saying, just raised their prices just a little bit too, man. You know, now, you know what I'm saying, let's say during the PS4 era, it was $60. Now we're in the PS5 era, which is $70, you know, PS5 era, which is $70. Now Nintendo just raised up their prices to $80 now. And now that these companies see it, they're taking advantage of this also. So that's why everything is going up. You know, PlayStation just made their price hike. You know, and who knows when the games, you know, video games come out, it might be like $80 to $100. Like I said, when GTA Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, they might charge that $100, man. You know what I'm saying? Gaming, you know what I'm saying? Gaming's not a hobby anymore. You know, gaming is a luxury now. But of course, you know, I mean, just as an example, man, you know, Temu, you know, when you go to shop, everything is cheap, you know, because cheap labor, cheap products. But now that we headed into, technically, we're already in the Great Depression already, man, but this is way worse than how it was in the 1930s, if I'm correct. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, rent is going up. Labor is really not going up. It doesn't match the cost. You know, people struggling. Hey, like I said, you know, this is old news, but even prior, like 5 years ago, you know, the average American lived paycheck to paycheck, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if fuel start to go up a little bit in certain states, man. It's crazy, man. You know, we can't even move out now. You know what I'm saying? People paying $1,500, over $1,000 for a $600 square foot apartment, man, for a single bedroom. You know, like I said, even the most ghetto places like Section 8 and all this stuff, they're raising up. You know what I'm saying? They're raising up their prices, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, homeless is about to be at an all-time high in all states, man. You know, people start to crash out. You know, and like I said, the best thing to do, man, is try to live. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, right now, it's like what I'm trying to say is, depending on the circumstance, right now is not the best time to be single, man. You know, a lot of these women, they're so-called independent right now. These single mothers, hey, man, they're in a bad case, man. Now, before we get to that, let me get this scripture. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. And it says, behold, vassals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves in good case. That's right. That's a prime example, man. Come on, man. That's why I love the scriptures, man. Hey, the scriptures tell you what it is, man. Everything was cheap, man. Like I said, hey, when you go back, hey, decades prior, everything was so cheap, man. You know what I'm saying? Housing was cheap. Going to school was cheap. Food was cheap. You was able to buy groceries and still have plenty of money. But nowadays, everything is so cheap. Going out to eat is so expensive. Getting a combo is maybe over $10 in most places, man. Some of them almost $20. You can't buy nothing with $1. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, where you buy everything for about $1. Ain't on some change. Now it's $1.25. Dollar Tree hurting now because they're going bankrupt. You know, what's the point of going to Dollar General, Dollar Tree? Meanwhile, I can go to Walmart just for the same prices. Come on, man. The dollar is losing its value. America is finished. Even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, that's right. Guns, weapons, famine, that's right, man. Lack of food and great confusion. That's right. People confused. You know, it's going crazy. People don't understand what's going on. You know? People thought that Donald Trump was going to make America great again. No, he's not. None of these presidents was there for the so-called American people. Never was. All of this was a design. To what? To bring wars, trade wars. And the only reason why America is thriving what it was is because the Most High gave Eve the power and dominion in America. It tells you that in Revelations. And there comes some time when the Most High is going to destroy this place with thermonuclear fire, that all these merchants are going to wail upon America, as it says in the scriptures, which I'm going to show you. And I'm going to get straight to the point. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 9. The kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when thou shalt see the smoke of her burning standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgment is come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and shall mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. That's right, man, because what? America is like the biggest consumer throughout the earth, man. primarily our people, man. The so-called Latino, it's like the so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, man. And of course some Edomites, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how all these nations would have thrived. That's how China was able to thrive what it is today, man. Because through America. Through what? Consumerism, exports, imports. The merchandise of silver, gold, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, all vessels of the most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, ointments, frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, wheat, breast, and sheep, horses, chariots, slaves, souls of men, human trafficking, all this stuff, man. They're going to show you that's America, man. You know what I'm saying? Food, some of the products come from other countries. Oil. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And these are the merchants which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches have come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and many of the trade by sea stood far off, cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto that great city? That's right, because once America be destroyed, there is no country on planet Earth that's going to be as how it was in America, man. Because America is the greatest consumerism on planet Earth, man. That's why everybody want to come to America. That's how these other nations got rich. You know what I'm saying? These Elamites. Think about it. Where do you go every time you go to the grocery stores? You know, or go to say 11. Who do you see? You see Jive Fights, and it's mostly in 7-Eleven and in Elam. Go to the gas station. You see Elam, man. You know, you see Hamites. You rarely see our people ever owning these stores, if not ever, man. Except if they work for them. Because what? Because these nations, because what? Because what? They're in league with this devil, and they got an easy way in. Like I said, because what? They got an easy way in. They start their business compared to our own people that made this country then greater than what it is, man. Once 2/3 of our people, man, be taken out, you know what I'm saying, primarily in Babylon, you know what I'm saying, the soul is gone. You know? And that's beautiful, man. It's going to show you that these times we're living in, man. I don't want to get one last scripture, man, because, hey, man, because America's finished. It's over for Babylon. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, start from verse 8. And it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, and so that she may be healed? We would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. Forsake her, and let us every one go into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heavens, according to what? Revelations 18. And is lifted up even into the skies. So I go to show you, man. So, hey, you other nations, you better get what you want to get, and get the hell up out of there, man. All right? Because your time has come, man. You know, you better take your riches home. You know what I'm saying? You better make your riches back in your home country before your ass be caught up, you know what I'm saying, in this thermonuclear fire, man. All right? Because you nations, because what? You have, as it says, hey, man, you have taken the suck of the babes, according to Psalms, man. You know what I'm saying? You have licked the wombs, man, of our people, man. Off the backs and sweat, you know what I'm saying, of this country, man. And you have taken it for granted. And that's what the other nations, y'all got to go in slavery too, man. Because what? Y'all reap the benefits, man. Because y'all never earned the benefits. Y'all stole it from us. And y'all know that. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying, y'all in league with this devil, man. So, hey, man, judgment has come. So, you know, that was just pretty much, you know, to get into the point. You know, I'm not going to go fairly deep into it because, you know, that was just pretty much points about the Tanaf situation. So, hopefully, brothers was edified. So, hey, with that, I want to give all, first of all, as always, this is Great Milson, Virginia, to give you latest news, article, lessons through the spirit and power of Shein. But as always, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to say double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who will teaching of the truth. And of course, I want to say peace and blessings and salutation to you. I come out there presenting the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, presenting to the best abilities, got the four corners of the earth. But then I say shalom.